brought to the point that I'm only sleeping 1 or 2 hours a night now, fighting for my life, and no one knows what to do. So I started before that, began to wean off the medications, and then eventually began to wean off of the psych medications, and then eventually began to wean off of the sleep medications to fight for my life. No doctor anywhere knew how to help. No doctor anywhere knew how to diagnose any of this. So I began to wean off the medications. Was almost killed weaning off the benzodiazepine for sleep and the Zopiclone for sleep. Both those drugs almost killed me. It ripped my body apart. The arches of my feet tore. My breasts were ripping apart. I was stopping breathing awake. Severe sleep apnea. Blood pressure through the roof. Low heart rate. My heart rate was beating 18 times a minute at times. Fighting for my life. My thighs were turning purple. My feet were turning blue. This went on for years. It was a fight for my life for years. What did they think? They thought I'd lost my mind. They thought it wasn't happening. They thought I was an addict, drug seeking. I was in acute medication withdrawal and nobody could diagnose it. I wanted a microtaper. None of the doctors, I'm out of my mind, but trying to direct the doctors how to care for me, that I need a microtaper. No, none of the doctors had ever seen acute benzodiazepine withdrawal before. I was in absolute medical crisis. Nobody believed me. What was the result of that? Serious permanent nerve damage. So that's the 8th disease they caused in me. I lost 3/4 of my hair, losing teeth, CPAP. I've lost a whole bunch of my teeth from CPAP. That's the 9th thing they've done? Taking a whole bunch of my teeth. Caused all this damage to my teeth from the CPAP, all where the pressure points of the CPAP. Lost 3/4 of my hair. Well, we won't count that one. So 9 things they've medically done to me so far. Permanent loss, permanent damage. And now here I sit, fighting to get a trach, nobody knew when I started to realize it's the jaw, it's the airway. No one was directing this. No doctor was taking the horse by the reins and fighting to get me help, fighting to diagnose this. Nobody diagnosed this. No doctor could figure any of this out. When I finally thought, well, maybe it's my airway. Maybe there's something going on back here. I had to tell a respirologist, can you do an x-ray? Can you do a CT scan? They did it. They didn't tell me, oh, your nasopharynx is narrow. Somebody should do something about it. Nobody told me what the report said. The doctor saw that and didn't say anything. So now I'm fighting, well, who do I need to see? An ENT? Whose job is this to fix this? Who do you see if you're in Canada? Who do you see for a narrow airway and you can't breathe at night? You're putting someone in mental and physical crisis. So you've escalated someone calm, who's working full time, who's having trouble sleeping, who's got a family, who's got a job, a car, an entire life. And you're escalating them mentally and emotionally. You're escalating their problems by adding more and more problems, by making their jaw smaller, by pushing their jaw back further, by creating sleep apnea in them, by creating respiratory depression. You're putting them further and further into mental and physical crisis. And as you're further in crisis, doctors don't want to deal with you because now you're losing it. Now you're loud, like you're watching me in the video. Now you're scared and you're angry because you've lost everything. And now nobody wants to deal with you because they've put you into crisis. Like I am now. And doctors are refusing you care. And the system allows them to refuse you care. Now that you've lost your job, you've lost your car, you can't get to medical appointments, you don't have money, you're now in debt, you now don't have income. They expect you to travel for care because they don't want to deal with you. This is exactly what they've done to me. I'm in medical crisis. I need a trach now. They don't want to do it. I need my jaw moved forward. I need double jaw surgery. But at this point, I could not mentally handle that stress and trauma of having my jaw broken and moved forward and eating through a straw for months. I can't handle that. Now I need a trach. They don't want to do a trach. They don't want to deal with me. So now I got a new family doctors don't want to deal with this massive stress or be pressured. So they expect me to pack and move or fly to another province or country for surgery. Where am I going to get the money from that? Where am I going to get the money? I can't. Even if someone gave me the money today, I need someone to come with me and assist me. I'm agoraphobic now from everything they've done to me. From me being in the house, from me sleeping 1 or 2 hours a night for 4.5 years, from the trauma of the benzodiazepine withdrawal, from all the trauma that doctors caused me from those withdrawals, threatening me with psychiatry, threatening to lock me up because of what they did to me. So now I need a trach. My doctor doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to get me help because the system allows all these doctors to refuse me care. It took me 45 years to figure all of this out. 45 years of misdiagnosis. And you know what? There's no way I would have figured any of this out had I not gotten off all the drugs they had me on. They had me on up to 15 different drugs at the same time, up to 7, 8, 9 sleeping pills at the same time. And they had no idea what they were doing to me. None of them could troubleshoot this. But yet, they expect you to, when you're not educated. They expect you to figure it all out. They expect you to save your own life. They expect you to figure out all the mistakes that they are currently making. They expect you to figure out what they've done. And then when you need urgent help, they are allowed to refuse you care. Because they can't deal with the crisis that they've put you in. They can't deal with the intensity. They can't deal with the fact that you're loud and in crisis. They can't sedate you because to sedate you means your airways closing more. What they've done to me here is an absolute disaster. Now they won't help me? My doctor's trying to figure out a way to try to get me help. They tie your doctor's hands. They tie your hands. So there's 2 ways out of this for me. A miracle, someone comes to rescue me and put me in a car and drive me to another province or country, come and get me, or the other way out of this crisis. What's the other way out that you can think of for me? A miracle's going to happen and someone's going to come and save me, or I have to exit this situation somehow. They did this. They put me in this position. Now they won't give me surgery? 45 years of literal medical torture. Because not one of these medical doctors could figure out what the hell they were doing to me.